Men must lead. So this is the last video for tonight. I think I got it's tomorrow Tuesday. No, so technically yeah. So I got tomorrow. I got I think a live stream with a friend, an acquaintance. We're gonna do a live stream. It's gonna be fun. Um, but this particular video is gonna be very simple. Um, I'm gonna start doing videos on simple stuff. This is something I learned from my mentor, Ron Wills. Shout out to him. But I even in previous relationships before now, I have implemented this, and it has been very effective. And the women notice, and it's very interesting. I don't really say it to them; I just kind of do it. I'll be walking with women, and they'll be on the outside of the curb, and I know what red pillars and MGTOWs. I know their opinions on like being disposable and stuff like that. But I mean, if you see yourself as having protective instincts, and I think that this is just universal in men, like you should act those out and just. I mean, if the woman's deserving of it, right? You don't have to do it if you don't want to. But this is just something I choose to do. I choose to operate in that framework, and I think that it allows for a more polarized relationship. So if I'm with a woman and we're walking, and let's just say there's a sidewalk and it's closer to the edge, I'll grab her like this and I'll pull her towards the inside. Um, Now, also, my thing is that like I walk in front or we walk side by side, right? But I'm never walking behind a woman. That's something that I don't do. I don't do that anymore. Um, so some people would say, "Oh man, that's misogynistic or whatever." But like the thing is, like I've kind of learned that even though the modern times have come around and we're saying, "Oh, we're all equal" and stuff like that, um, I've learned that that whole quality stuff is really just for guys. Really, um, women don't really. I think they literally have quite a lot of contempt for the idea of equality. Um, um, I mean, it's a different thing, but I mean, I'll probably get to that in a future video. But I think they have a lot of contempt for equality. At least in the dating world, they don't really like they resent the idea of that. Now, in the outside workplace world, they want it because then it means the that they can compete with people that they naturally can't compete with. I think when we're in situations where we have the advantage, we we don't we don't really want equality because we're already winning, right? But when we have a situation where we don't have the advantage, yeah, then we're screaming equality all day as humans, and I think that's really interesting. That's kind of underexplored. So, anyways, in this modern time where men are being kind of made to be more feminine and more and less masculine, I think it will serve us to actually lead women in relationships and lead them. Um, and this is even if you're in a situation where you think that you might not be able to be seen as that, because I know some guys you still live with your mom. I know some guys you still you have a lot of roommates and you don't really have your own place or something like that. But the thing is, like energetically, you still represent the masculine. You represent the part of uh, her psyche that is internal. You represent that side, the strong side. So a lot of women they won't admit it because culture tells them that they're supposed to act the same as us and that they're not supposed to rely on us. But I think a lot of them want us to still remain strong, and even still, even though everyone's kind of running around like a chicken with their head cut off, I think women still want a man to lead from ahead, lead from the front. Uh, they want you to be decisive. They want you to take charge, and they want you to be brave enough to deal with all their silliness, right? And to just understand and be able to see past the silliness too. Um, it's a weird thing that's happened in the modern world, but I think we're making a difference. I think the guys who are talking about this, and I'm from the younger generation, from the millennial generation, but um, I'm starting to understand certain realities that are changing my perspective on things. But one thing that has to be true and that can't be changed is that men must lead. We must lead from the front. We must, even in the bedroom, we must lead. Even out and about, when we're out and about with a woman, we must lead. This isn't something that we can just take a seat on. Now you can go to bed and wake up the next day, but that's kind of where it starts over again. Uh, I know that can be frustrating because you feel like, man, I got to do it every time. Of course, you can take a break if you're not with the woman, then you can just go do your own thing, whatever. But I think that's the nature of the dance. And part of the problems with the modern day is that a lot of us guys are kind of getting in the way of the polarization of a lot of what could be. And that's one of the main elements that um, has to be brought up. But then also, there's something that I haven't actually talked about. Men have to be okay with telling their woman to shut up, and they also have to be okay with telling their woman no. I think two of those things are also important. They have to be okay with the woman um, having negative emotions towards what they're saying if they actually have conviction behind what they're saying and actually have a good reason for it that they think is a good reason. Part of being a leader is being able to say things that everyone may not be they may not like at first, but if they search inside deeply, they'll actually be able to understand it at a deeper level later on. Leaders kind of take the brunt of they're willing to take the brunt of a lot of things early on, even though they're going to get backlash. They're willing to take that because they know what's at stake. They can look further down the line and see what's coming. Whereas the people who are following tend to be a little more short sighted, as a lot of women are. They're a lot more short sighted, and they're not looking down further down the road. Yeah, I believe it's our job to lead. Granted, having a good follower helps, but there's going to be an element of that has to be taught. You have to teach people um, on both sides, actually, but primarily you being the leader. Yeah, men must lead.